This video is sponsored by Carnivore Companion. Check out our newly released seasoning steak dust, along with our flagship seasoning smokestack and our bestseller Tuckologen. Use the code CCYouTube10 at carnivorecompanion.com to save 10% off your first order. Alright, so I have a ton of leftover stuff from these Hot Pockets, so I'm going to make something. The thing I've got here is, it's not really a tart dish, but it looks like one a little bit. What I'm going to do is take this leftover dough that I had from the Hot Pockets, all of the leftover filling, and press the dough in here, put the filling in there, probably top with a little more cheese and have some ground chicken I'll put in there too. So I'm just gonna kind of wing this, see how it goes. If you're liking these videos, I would really love for you to let me know, because I just really want to put out more content for you guys, but I also don't want it to be boring. Like, if this is boring, please say something. But I really wanted to call it the leftovers because every time I do one of these things, I always have a lot left over, because you can't just buy, 3 eggs or an ounce of pork rinds. So here I have my dish. I'm going to take just a little bit of softened butter and rub it in, because I want the outside of this dough to kind of fry almost. So you can use a good amount. Well, you don't have to scrape the excess if you don't want to. I'll take out my flattened dough and just place that in. Press it down. Table's a little malleable because the pan was hot. Press this in. You're going to want to press until it comes up the sides, because you're going to cut off the excess. Yes, it's kind of thinned out. This is kind of like what you would do with a legit tart as well, or even a pie. Alright, we'll grab the knife. Just kind of cut that off at the edge, all the way across. That's our nice little ramekin with our crust. Just gonna layer all this stuff. Since the cheese is gonna melt, I'm gonna kind of mound it up. Ham and cheddar, pepperoni, and mozzarella. A little bit of ground chicken. Just kind of get a little melange of everything in there. Make it interesting. Maybe shred over just a little bit of mozzarella. A little extra, help it brown. Press that in. We have our little tiny dish tart thing. So let's throw this to an oven at 350 degrees. This will probably take about 15 minutes because it's a little bit deeper than the Hot Pockets were. So I'm going to throw that in, and we'll pull it out in just a second. And there she is! Little meat tart with some extra crispy pepperoni. Sorry if you can't hear me, the dishwasher's very loud. Alright, I'm just going to let this chill out for about 10 minutes so I can get it out of there, because it's still very, very hot, but it looks good. I'm kind of excited about it. It's like Hot Pocket number 3 or something now. So I'll see you in 10 minutes. Alright, it's still a little warm on this, but I've got, sad hands. So I'm going to try to get this thing out of here. Since there's no sauce in this or anything, you could probably put a plate on top of it and just flip it, and then flip it back on a plate, which I may do. But I've got my offset spatula to try to weasel its way out of there, so we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, it should come out pretty easy. There we go. Go ahead and grab a plate. Oh, hang on. Little tart calls for a little plate. There we go. It's just a little like personalized cup thing. It's almost a it's kind of like a mini deep dish pizza at this point, because it's just it's pizza toppings really inside of a crust. And the crust is pretty soft. It's a little crispy on the edges thanks to the pork rinds. Tastes good. It's got a bready texture to it because the chicken grinds up, and it just it kind of it's not necessarily gritty, but it adds that kind of grain you get with risen bread. So it's there. It's got that texture. But unlike a tart's usually crispy and dense. This is going to be fluffy and kind of dense. So I feel like this is something you would get at school for some reason. I don't know. It's tiny. It's just really tiny, which I don't have a problem with. It's a little weird. The bottom is a little soft. I guess the butter was a little too much for it, but that's whatever. I'm just gonna bite into it. I mean, it's good. It's literally just a meat and cheese little pastry. What's not to like about that? I really don't want to eat any more of this. I've already eaten 1.5 Hot Pockets, so I'm gonna see if somebody here wants this. That concludes this episode of The Leftovers. If you like this and you want to see more of these, just let me know, because I'd really like to continue to do something on at least the 3rd video a week. And keeping it simple like this without the voiceovers, that'll help me out making it happen. Plus, I'd like to do more just like freestyle talking anyways. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share, all those things. If you're interested in the Patreon, links down in the description. See you next time.